Welcome to the Edge2Web Getting Started video series. In this video, we are going to show how you can use Edge2Web Power Tools to explore your SiteWise data and quickly create useful queries and formulas. To open the Data Explorer, open the Tools menu and click Data Explorer. The Data Explorer has a toolbar area for loading and saving your queries, selecting a time range, and selecting time series or aggregate data for display. Below the toolbar are areas for selecting the assets that you want to display, their properties, and then visualizing the data. Let's select an asset to start exploring. Once I've selected an asset, I see its list of properties in the middle panel. I'm going to select the good counter and scrap counter so I can look at the production of this piece of equipment. On the right-hand side, the data that's returned is visualized. I can also change the time frame to take a look at the last 12 hours of data. Let's expand the time frame again and look at the previous day's production. That time series is pretty dense. Let's change over from a raw time series to a sum of the count per hour. That's much easier to understand the production on an hourly basis. I can also show multiple assets on the same chart. Let's add a second asset. I'm going to go ahead and select the same good counter and scrap counter from that second asset and show its properties. Besides displaying a chart, you can also view the data in a table with an option to export the data in a CSV file format for easy use in other applications. Besides property, time series, and aggregate data, you can also create formulas to better understand your data. Let me clear the current data query and reselect the bottom presser asset to start out. In the middle panel, I'm going to switch to the Formulas tab. I'm going to add a formula, and let's create a formula to show the total parts, both scrap and good parts that are produced by this piece of equipment. I can either pick an existing formula or create a new one. I'm going to create a new one. The new formula is going to be an addition of two expressions, which are the sum of the good counter and the scrap counter. I'm going to hit OK. And you can see we've automatically mapped the bottom presser good counter to the input good counter for the formula and the scrap counter for the scrap counter. I'm going to display that, and I can switch over because this is only showing one piece of data, the 883. I'm going to switch to showing the last 24 hours. And I'm going to show it by 1 hour increments. At this point, I can save the formula and then use it in the formula builder with other expressions, or I can save the entire query so that I can come back to it and use this for other assets and time periods. Let's load a more complex query containing a set of formulas for OEE calculations. I'm going to click Load Query, select my OEE formulas for bottom presser, and I'm going to click Load. We automatically execute the query and show you the results in the chart. That concludes our Getting Started video for Data Explorer.